Tea is one of the most comforting, soothing, and widely consumed beverages on the planet. People drink it for energy, relaxing sleep, digestion, detoxing, weight loss, and even emotional calm. But here's the problem most people don't realize. Not all tea is clean, natural, or safe. In fact, many cheap and popular tea brands are filled with contaminants, artificial additives, pesticides, dyes, and chemical residues that completely ruin the health benefits tea is supposed to provide. Some teas have even been exposed for containing dangerously high levels of lead, pesticides banned in multiple countries, or microplastics leaking from the tea bags themselves. Instead of boosting your health, these questionable products may actually be harming your gut, your hormones, and your overall well-being. So today, we're breaking down tea brands to avoid at all costs. And later, we'll show you 2 clean, safe, and trustworthy tea brands you can enjoy without worry. 1. Lipton tea bags. Lipton is one of the most recognizable tea brands in the world, but behind the bright yellow box lies a long list of problems that make it one of the worst teas you can keep in your kitchen. The biggest issue with Lipton tea bags is the contamination level discovered in multiple independent tests. Several investigations found that Lipton tea can contain traces of pesticides, including chemicals banned in Europe due to links with hormonal disruption, reproductive issues, and toxicity. Many cheap commercial teas spray pesticides directly on the leaves during growth, and when the tea isn't thoroughly cleaned or properly regulated, those chemicals end up steeping right into your cup. Another concern is the quality of the tea leaves. Lipton uses dust and fannings, the lowest grade of tea, basically the leftover powder from higher quality tea production. This results in bitter tea with fewer antioxidants. Instead of getting the benefits tea is known for, like reduced inflammation and healthier digestion, you're drinking a beverage with minimal nutritional value. Microplastics are another major issue. Many Lipton tea bags are made from plastic-based materials that can release tiny plastic particles into hot water. Studies have shown that steeping a single plastic tea bag can release billions of microplastic particles. These particles may accumulate in the body and contribute to inflammation and long-term health damage. Flavor additives and artificial coloring also show up in some Lipton varieties. Rather than using high-quality tea for natural flavor, they rely on artificial enhancements that defeat the purpose of drinking tea for wellness. And because Lipton is mass-produced globally, the sourcing and processing standards vary wildly, meaning you never really know what you're getting. On top of that, Lipton tea farms have been linked to poor labor conditions and environmental concerns, raising questions about ethical production. Even though the brand markets itself as a wholesome, classic tea, the reality is far from clean. So from low-grade leaves to pesticide residues to microplastics and quality inconsistencies, Lipton tea bags simply don't offer the purity, safety, or health benefits that real tea should provide. If you truly value your health and your cup of tea, this is one brand that's absolutely worth avoiding. 2. Arizona Green Tea. Arizona Green Tea might look refreshing in its iconic tall can or jug, but it's one of the most misleading tea products on the market. The biggest problem? Arizona Green Tea isn't really tea. It's a high-sugar beverage with a sprinkle of green tea extract for marketing purposes. A single can contains an enormous amount of added sugar, often more than a can of soda, which completely destroys any health benefit associated with green tea. Instead of boosting metabolism or providing antioxidants, this drink spikes your blood sugar and contributes to inflammation and weight gain. But sugar isn't the only issue. Arizona Green Tea contains high fructose corn syrup, a notoriously harmful sweetener linked to fatty liver disease, metabolic issues, and increased visceral fat. Many consumers think they're choosing a healthier alternative to soda, but they're just getting a different form of the same problem. The product also includes artificial flavoring, preservatives like potassium sorbate, and sometimes even color additives to maintain its appearance. None of these belong in authentic tea. They dilute flavor, reduce nutritional value, and weaken the antioxidant benefits that real green tea provides. When combined with high fructose corn syrup, the result is a drink far from natural. Arizona has also been criticized for using extremely low-grade tea extract, meaning there's barely any real catechins, the powerful compounds in green tea responsible for improved brain function and heart health. You're basically drinking sweetened water with a hint of green tint. Another issue is the massive aluminum cans. While convenient, acidic or sugary drinks stored in aluminum may increase the chance of leaching small amounts of metal into the beverage, especially when cans are stored in warm environments. While this isn't exclusive to Arizona, the huge packaging and long shelf life increase the risk. Arizona's marketing as a healthy green tea option is one of the most misleading aspects. Most people don't realize that real green tea has almost 0 calories and is full of antioxidants. Arizona Arizona green tea, on the other hand, is closer to a dessert beverage disguised as something natural. In short, Arizona green tea is not a wellness drink. It's a sugar-loaded beverage that uses the word tea as a selling point. Between the HFCS, artificial flavoring, low-quality tea extract, and misleading marketing, this is one of the worst tea products you can drink if health is your priority. 3. Celestial Seasonings. Certain flavors. Celestial Seasonings is a brand that gives off a cozy, natural, herbal vibe. The kind of tea you imagine sipping on a calm night with soft music and warm blankets. But despite its peaceful image, several flavors from Celestial Seasonings have come under serious scrutiny for contamination and questionable ingredient quality. Independent testing by multiple consumer safety organizations has revealed that some of their teas contained pesticide residues far exceeding recommended limits, including chemicals linked to hormonal disruption, liver toxicity, and increased cancer risk. These weren't tiny traces. Some samples tested above safe tolerance levels by shocking margins. Part of the problem comes from Celestial Seasonings' supply chain. Many of their herbal ingredients are sourced from regions where pesticide regulation is weak or inconsistent. Herbs like chamomile, peppermint, hibiscus, and lemongrass can absorb chemicals from the soil easily. When these herbs aren't thoroughly tested or cleaned, consumers end up drinking contaminated herbal infusions that can do more harm than good. Another major concern is the lack of transparency. Celestial Seasonings has been criticized for not releasing detailed information about their pesticide testing practices or ingredient purity standards. The company often markets itself as all natural, but that term has no regulatory meaning. Natural doesn't always mean clean, and natural doesn't guarantee pesticide-free. Some blends also contain added flavoring, including natural flavor, which is a vague term used in the food industry to disguise lab-created additives. These flavorings are used to boost aroma and taste when the actual tea ingredients are low quality or inconsistent. Instead of giving you real herbal purity, the tea becomes more like a flavored beverage mix. The saddest part? Many people drink herbal teas specifically to avoid caffeine and processed ingredients, hoping for something gentle, clean, and beneficial. Yet some Celestial Seasonings blends deliver the opposite: contaminated herbs, vague labeling, and questionable purity. If you want herbal tea for relaxation, sleep, or digestion, there are far safer brands out there that prioritize ingredient testing and transparency. 4. Bigelow Earl Grey. Bigelow is a classic American tea brand found in nearly every grocery store, and Earl Grey is one of its most popular flavors. But what many people don't realize is that this widely purchased tea has a number of concerns that place it on our avoid list. The biggest red flag is that Bigelow Earl Grey is often made using low-grade tea leaves, similar to many mass-market tea brands. Instead of using whole-leaf, high-quality black tea, Bigelow relies heavily on fannings and tea dust, the leftover broken-down particles that offer far fewer antioxidants and a much harsher taste. So instead of getting the rich benefits of black tea, consumers end up with a low-nutrient cup that's more bitter than beneficial. Another issue is the artificial flavor enhancement. Earl Grey gets its signature aroma from bergamot oil, but in cheaper teas, brands often turn to natural flavoring instead of real bergamot. This allows them to artificially boost flavor without using high-quality ingredients. The problem? Natural flavors are still lab-created extracts, not real fruit oil. Bigelow has also faced concerns related to pesticide residues. Third-party tests have found traces of chemicals in some of their teas. While the levels might not break regulations, the presence of residues in a product consumed daily for health reasons is concerning. Black tea leaves naturally absorb more environmental toxins because they're not washed before processing. So if the source farms use pesticides, those chemicals stay in the final brew. What makes all of this worse is that Bigelow markets their teas as wholesome, traditional, and high quality, which leads consumers to believe they're getting something far better than what's inside the bag. Earl Grey is supposed to be a fragrant, elegant tea, but Bigelow's version is a compromised blend of low-grade leaves, artificial flavoring, and questionable purity. For a drink you're supposed to enjoy for well-being, clarity, and comfort, this isn't the quality you deserve. 5. Harney Sons. Certain flavored teas. Harney Sons has a reputation for elegance, premium tins, and beautifully blended teas. Many people assume that because the brand feels luxurious, every product inside is equally high quality. But several of their flavored teas have earned a spot on the avoid list due to issues that don't match the brand's upscale image. The main concern centers around their heavy use of added flavoring oils, especially in blends like Paris, hot cinnamon spice, and several fruit-infused varieties. While the company labels these as natural flavors, the truth is that natural flavor can still be a processed compound made in a lab using chemical extraction. This is an immediate problem for tea drinkers who expect real ingredients, transparency, and purity. Another concern is that many Harney Sons flavored teas use low to mid-grade tea leaves as the base. The intense flavor oils overpower the tea itself, which often means the company doesn't need to use high-quality leaves. In the world of tea, fragrance shouldn't hide flaws in the ingredients, but in these blends, it often does. When you're drinking tea for health benefits like antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, and digestive support, artificially boosted flavor comes at the cost of real nutrients. The flavored blends also tend to include ingredients like cinnamon flavor oil, bergamot flavor, vanilla essence, and various fruit essences. While these ingredients make the tea aromatic, they can irritate sensitive stomachs and trigger headaches in people who react to artificial or concentrated extracts. Some of their blends are so intensely scented that they almost behave like potpourri rather than tea, a sign of heavy fragrance enhancement. For a brand that markets itself as artisanal, traditional, and sophisticated, too many of their flavored products are far from clean. If you enjoy bold, aromatic teas, it's better to choose blends made from real herbs, spices, and whole ingredients rather than fragrance-laden flavor agents. Harney Sons may look premium on the outside, but some of their flavored teas simply don't match that standard of purity or authenticity. 6. Trader Joe's Tea Blends. Trader Joe's is loved for affordability, quirky packaging, and fun seasonal releases. But when it comes to tea, the brand has several issues that make many of their tea blends worth avoiding. The biggest concern is the use of extremely low-grade tea dust and fannings, which provide far fewer antioxidants and a much harsher flavor compared to whole leaf or even mid-grade teas. Many of their blends taste flat or overly grassy, which is a sign that the base tea isn't high quality. Another major issue is the inconsistent sourcing. Trader Joe's works with multiple third-party suppliers around the world, and while some products are decent, others come from farms with weaker pesticide regulation. Independent tests have found pesticide residues in certain Trader Joe's products over the years, including teas and dried herbs. Since the brand doesn't disclose its suppliers, there's no guarantee that the tea you're drinking is pesticide-free or carefully tested. Trader Joe's teas also rely heavily on natural flavors and additives, especially in blends like pumpkin spice rooibos, candy cane green tea, blueberry and acai herbal, and seasonal fruit varieties. These flavored teas often depend more on fragrance than on real ingredients. Instead of using actual spices, herbs, or fruit pieces, Trader Joe's frequently uses aroma oils to replicate flavors. This can affect digestion, cause headaches, and reduce the real health benefits that unflavored teas deliver naturally. The tea bags are another source of concern. While not plastic mesh, some versions use a glue seal and low-cost paper fibers that can break down or release unwanted compounds into hot water. When you're consuming something daily, even small amounts of chemical leaching can add up over time. Overall, Trader Joe's teas are fun, affordable, and appealing on the surface, but when you dig deeper, you find low-quality leaves, questionable sourcing, and unnecessary flavor additives. For people drinking tea for wellness, antioxidants, or purity, these blends fall short. There are better teas out there that prioritize real ingredients, steady quality, and transparent sourcing, things every tea drinker deserves. 7. Great Value Tea, Walmart brand. Great Value Tea is extremely affordable, but that affordability comes with trade-offs that make it a brand to avoid if you care about purity, flavor, or the actual health benefits tea is supposed to provide. The biggest issue is the very low grade of tea used. Instead of full leaves or even medium-quality broken leaves, Great Value uses tea dust and tiny fannings, the leftovers from higher-quality tea production. This means the tea has significantly fewer antioxidants, weaker natural flavor, and a harsher, more bitter profile. If you've ever wondered why these tea bags turn your water dark almost immediately, it's because tea dust releases tannins extremely fast, which can also lead to stomach irritation. Beyond low-grade tea, there are sourcing concerns. Because this is a budget brand, Walmart contracts with different suppliers in India, China, and Africa based on cost efficiency rather than consistency or quality standards. This constant supplier switching raises concerns about pesticide residues, soil contamination, and a lack of uniform testing. While Walmart promises safety, budget tea brands rarely publish transparent third-party test results, leaving consumers unsure of what exactly they're drinking. The tea bags themselves are another problem. Great Value uses low-quality paper bags sealed with adhesives that may release unwanted chemicals when hot water is poured over them. The bags also occasionally shed fibers, which breaks down the drinking experience and may introduce unnecessary microparticles into your tea. The flavored varieties, such as peach, raspberry, and mint, rely heavily on artificial and natural flavor additives, often added because the base tea itself isn't flavorful. This results in an overly perfumed cup without any real depth aroma complexity, or authentic ingredients. The flavor oils can irritate people with sensitivities, cause headaches, or reduce the tea's natural health value. Another concern is inconsistent brewing results. One bag might taste extremely strong, while another from the same box is weak and watery. This inconsistency reflects poor blending and low manufacturing standards, which is expected at this price point. 8. Pure Leaf Iced Tea, sweetened and unsweetened. Pure Leaf markets itself as a premium, real brewed iced tea made with simple ingredients. But when you take a closer look, both the sweetened and unsweetened versions raise several concerns that make this brand one to avoid. The first issue is extremely high sugar content in the sweetened varieties. A single bottle can contain up to 40 to 45 grams of sugar, more than a can of cola. This pushes blood sugar levels, stresses the pancreas, contributes to weight gain, and leaves you with a sugary beverage disguised as tea. The real problem is many people drink Pure Leaf thinking it's a healthier choice simply because it's tea, but the sugar load makes it far from healthy. Even the unsweetened version, while sugar-free, is not as clean as the branding suggests. Pure Leaf is owned by PepsiCo, a giant beverage company known for mass production and cost-cutting sourcing. This means the tea leaves used aren't high-quality whole leaves, but large-scale commodity-grade black tea sourced from massive plantations where pesticide use is common. Pure Leaf does not provide transparent third-party lab testing for contaminants such as pesticides, heavy metals, and chemical residues, which independent investigations have found in several bottled tea brands. Another concern is the plastic bottles. Pure Leaf is bottled in PET plastic, which releases microplastics and chemical compounds into the tea over time, especially if bottles sit in warehouses or delivery trucks exposed to heat. Studies show that bottled teas often contain more microplastic particles than bottled water because tea's acidity encourages faster leaching. Each sip may introduce trace amounts of plastic the body cannot fully eliminate. There's also a flavor problem. Pure Leaf claims to use only real brewed tea with no artificial preservatives, yet the taste remains oddly consistent bottle to bottle, something nearly impossible without heavy processing and highly standardized tea extracts. While the label says brewed from real tea leaves, many beverage experts believe Pure Leaf uses concentrated tea bases and then adds water, a standard practice in the bottled tea industry. The result is a drink that lacks the natural character, aroma, and antioxidants of freshly brewed tea. Pure Leaf may be convenient, but it is far from the clean, premium tea it appears to be. Both the sweetened and unsweetened varieties fall short in purity, health value, and integrity. Now that we've exposed the tea brands that look healthy but really aren't, it's time to flip the script. Let's move from contaminated, sugary, and low-quality teas to clean, trustworthy, antioxidant-rich alternatives. Healthy Alternative 1. Pique Tea Crystals. Pique Tea Crystals stand out as one of the cleanest and most advanced tea options available today. Unlike most tea brands that rely on mass-produced tea bags or bottled concentrates, Pique uses a patented cold brew crystallization process that extracts tea at low temperatures to preserve maximum antioxidants, polyphenols, and natural flavor compounds. This method captures the full nutritional profile of the tea leaves while eliminating many of the contaminants often found in conventional teas, such as pesticide residues, mycotoxins, and heavy metals. One of the biggest advantages of Pique Tea is its unparalleled commitment to testing. Every batch undergoes rigorous third-party screening for toxins, something very few tea companies are transparent about. This means you're getting a product that is not only flavorful, but also extremely clean and safe, especially for people who drink tea daily for its health benefits. You're not consuming microplastics from tea bags, and you're not dealing with sugary additives, artificial flavors, or cheap fillers. Another major benefit is convenience. Instead of steeping a tea bag, you simply pour the crystals into hot or cold water, stir, and your tea is ready instantly. For busy people who want the health benefits of high-quality tea without the preparation time, this is an unbeatable option. And because the crystals dissolve fully, you don't end up with bitter over-steeped tea or watered-down bottled tea. Every cup is consistent and full-bodied. More importantly, Pique's sourcing is exceptional. They partner with small, sustainable tea farms that use traditional growing practices without relying on chemical pesticides. Their teas are sun-dried, hand-picked, and crafted for superior purity. This results in a cleaner flavor profile full of natural tea aroma, depth, and smoothness. So if you want to upgrade from mass-produced supermarket teas to something truly premium, Pique Tea Crystals are easily one of the safest, cleanest, and most nutritionally potent tea choices on the market today. Healthy Alternative 2. Numi Organic Tea. Numi Organic Tea is widely recognized as one of the purest, most ethically sourced tea brands available, and it easily earns its place as a top-safe alternative. What sets Numi apart is its strict commitment to organic, fair trade, and non-GMO sourcing. Their teas come from small farms that avoid pesticides, synthetic fertilizers, and genetically modified crops. This immediately eliminates many of the chemical concerns commonly found in lower-quality tea brands. Each batch of Numi tea is made using whole tea leaves, not the dust and fannings typically used in cheap tea bags. Whole leaf tea provides a richer flavor, smoother brewing experience, and significantly higher antioxidant content. You get the authentic taste of the plant without bitterness from low-grade scraps. Numi also avoids artificial flavors, fragrances, and sweeteners, which means every cup is naturally clean and full of pure botanical goodness. Another major strength of Numi is transparency. They invest heavily in sustainable farming, carbon-neutral packaging, and recyclable materials. Their tea bags are made without plastics, microplastics, or harmful sealing chemicals. Unlike bottled teas or plastic-sealed tea bags, Numi's bags do not release microplastics or glue into your cup. This alone makes them a much healthier option for long-term tea drinkers. Numi also offers a huge variety of single-origin and blended teas, including green, white, black, oolong, herbal infusions, rooibos, and turmeric blends. Each variety is crafted with care, preserving the natural aroma and therapeutic compounds of the ingredients. Their turmeric teas, for example, are made with pure organic turmeric and spices, offering strong anti-inflammatory benefits without any additives or extracts. If you're trying to upgrade from unsafe, low-quality, pesticide-contaminated teas, Numi Organic Tea is one of the most trusted and reputable choices you can make. It offers purity, flavor, sustainability, and peace of mind in every cup. If you've been drinking the wrong tea brands for years, don't feel bad. Most people have. Tea companies rely on big marketing claims, fancy packaging, and natural buzzwords to hide the truth about low-quality leaves, pesticide residue, artificial flavors, and added sugars. But now you know exactly which teas to avoid and which ones are actually clean, pure, and worth your money. Switching to healthier alternatives like Pique Tea or Numi Organic Tea can completely transform your daily routine, boost your antioxidants, and help your body feel lighter and more energized. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another guide that can protect your health and your wallet. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.